Welcome to Mr. Evil, the most terrifying corner on YouTube, where secrets and unsolved cases hide in the dark. Here we dive into the world of puzzles and brutal murders and bloody crimes, where we reveal the most horrifying cases and the latest investigations without leaving any terrifying details undiscovered. Get ready for the journey through the most evil aspects of our world, where deadly secrets await to be revealed. Subscribe now and join us in uncovering the secrets hidden in the dark, and don't miss a moment of this terrifying journey through the shadows. Scary story. What if you woke up one night in a place where nothing made sense, where reality was distorted and twisted beyond recognition, where the only thing you could trust was your own fear? What if you found yourself trapped in a nightmare that you could not escape, where every step you took brought you closer to the edge of madness? What if you discovered that the darkness that surrounded you was not only in your mind, but also in your soul? This is the story of a man who experienced such a horror, a man who was thrown into a world of shadows and secrets, a world where nothing was as it seemed, and where the only way out was through. This is the story of a man who faced the ultimate terror, a terror that lurked in the darkness, waiting for him to make a fatal mistake. This is the story of a man who entered the house of horrors and never came back. I don't know how I got here, or why. The last thing I remember was going to bed in my apartment after a long day at work. I had a normal life, a normal job, a normal routine. Nothing extraordinary, nothing remarkable. Just a simple, boring existence. But then, everything changed. I woke up in the middle of the night, feeling a cold sweat on my forehead and a sharp pain in my head. I opened my eyes, expecting to see the familiar sight of my bedroom, but instead, I saw nothing but darkness. I tried to move, but I felt a hard surface beneath me, rough and uneven. I reached for my phone, hoping to find some light, some clue, some explanation. But my phone was gone. Instead, I found a piece of paper in my pocket with a single word written on it, R-U-N. I was confused, scared, and angry. Who did this to me? Why? What did they want from me? I had no answers, only questions, and a growing sense of dread. I got up, trying to ignore the pain in my head and the cold in my body. I looked around, hoping to find a way out, a sign of civilization, a trace of hope. But all I saw was darkness and silence. I was in a neighborhood, but not one that I recognized. The houses were old and dilapidated, their windows broken and their doors boarded up. The streets were empty and deserted, their pavement cracked and overgrown with weeds. The air was thick and stale, filled with a foul odor that made me gag, and the sky was black, as if the sun had never risen. I felt a surge of panic, a primal urge to flee. I ran without direction, without purpose, without logic. I ran, hoping to find a way out, hoping to escape this nightmare. But the more I ran, the more I realized that I was trapped. There was no exit, no escape, no salvation. There was only the darkness and the horror that it hid. As I ran, I heard a sound that chilled me to the bone. A howl, a scream, a roar. A A sound that came from somewhere far away, but also from everywhere at once. A sound that echoed in the night and in my mind. A sound that spoke of hunger, of rage, of death. I stopped, frozen in fear. What was that? What was making that sound? Was it a human? An animal? A monster? Was it coming for me? I didn't know, and I didn't want to find out. I turned around, hoping to find a place to hide, a place to rest, a place to think. But as I did, I saw something that made my blood run cold. A house, a lone house, standing in the middle of the street. A house that looked different from the others, that looked newer, that looked alive. A house that had lights on, that had windows open, that had a door inviting. A house that seemed to call to me, to beckon me, to lure me. I felt a strange attraction, a curious fascination, a fatal temptation. I felt a pull, a force, a compulsion. I felt a need, a desire, a hunger. I felt a voice, a whisper, a command. Enter. I don't know why I did it, why I listened, why I obeyed. Maybe it was curiosity, maybe it was desperation, maybe it was madness. Maybe it was fate. But I did it. I walked towards the house, ignoring the warning in my head, ignoring the fear in my heart, ignoring the danger in my soul. I walked towards the house, hoping to find a refuge, hoping to find a friend, hoping to find a clue. But what I found was something else, something worse, something evil. I walked towards the house and entered the house of horrors. As soon as I stepped inside the house, I felt a change, a shift, a difference. The air was warmer, the light was brighter, the sound was louder. The house seemed to welcome me, to embrace me, to envelop me. But it was a false welcome, a false embrace, a false envelopment. For the house was not a home, but a trap, a prison, a hell. I realized that too late, when the door slammed shut behind me, locking me in. I turned around, hoping to find a way out, hoping to undo my mistake. But the door was gone, replaced by a wall of bricks, solid and impenetrable. I was trapped, with no escape, no exit, no hope. I screamed, I pounded, I kicked. I tried to break the wall, to make a hole, to find a crack. But it was useless, futile, hopeless. The wall was too strong, too thick, too high. I was alone, with no help, no rescue, no salvation. I gave up, exhausted, defeated, broken. I slumped to the floor, sobbing, whimpering, moaning. I cursed, I prayed, I begged. I asked for mercy, for forgiveness, for death. But there was no answer, no response, no relief. There was only the house and the horror that it hid. I don't know how long I stayed there, on the floor, in the dark, in the silence. It could have been minutes, hours, days. Time had no meaning, no measure, no value. Time was nothing. Nothing was time. But then something happened, something changed, something moved. I heard a sound, a new sound, a different sound. A sound that came from inside the house, from somewhere close, from somewhere near. A sound that broke the silence, that shattered the calm, that pierced the dark. A sound that made me scream. It was a laugh, a cackle, a giggle. A laugh that was high-pitched, low-pitched, multi-pitched. A laugh that was manic, sadistic, demonic. A laugh that spoke of madness, of cruelty, of evil. A laugh that came from the house, from the walls, from the shadows. I looked around, terrified, panicked, frantic. I tried to find the source, the origin, the cause. I tried to see the face, the body, the form. I tried to identify the enemy, the threat, the danger. But I saw nothing, nothing but darkness, nothing but shadows, nothing but walls. The laugh continued, louder, longer, stronger. The laugh mocked me, taunted me, tormented me. The laugh filled the house, filled the air, filled my ears. The laugh drove me insane. I covered my ears, hoping to block the sound, hoping to stop the noise, hoping to end the torture. But it was no use, no help, no relief. The laugh was too loud, too clear, too real. The laugh was in my head. I screamed, louder, longer, stronger. I screamed in pain, in fear, in anger. I screamed for help, for mercy, for death. But there was no one to hear me, no one to help me, no one to save me. There was only the house and the horror that it hid. The laugh stopped, suddenly, abruptly, completely. The sound was gone, the noise was gone, the torture was gone. But the horror was not. The horror was just beginning. The house spoke to me in a voice that was familiar, that was friendly, that was cheerful. Hello, my friend. Welcome to my house. I hope you enjoy your stay. I recognized the voice. I knew the voice. I hated the voice. It was my voice. The house was me. I was the house. I was the horror. I was the horror that lurked in the darkness, that waited in the shadows, that preyed on the innocent. I was the horror that howled in the night, that laughed in the dark, that spoke in my head. I was the horror that trapped me, that tortured me, that drove me insane. I was the horror that I could not escape, that I could not fight, that I could not defeat. I was the horror that I had created, that I had unleashed, that I had become. I was the horror that had entered the house of horrors and never came back. The end. Thank you for joining us for this spine-tingling story. We hope you found it both thrilling and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed this video, please consider participating in our channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing it with your friends. Your support goes a long way in helping us create more engaging content for you. Goodbye, and may you always tread carefully in the world of the unknown.